Hello and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 16th April and let's see what we have got in the PIB today. The special topic on which we are going to have a detailed chat is Indo-Nordic Summit that is going to take place. What this Indo-Nordic is all about. Particularly we are going to have a detailed discussion on Nordic countries and their strength, and if they have any weakness at all, and how this weakness can be converted into a strength and things like that. So basically it's about India and Nordic countries relationship. Now, can you identify the person that you can see on your screen? The last person was Yang Jieqi. He is from China, National Security Advisor of China. And if you want to download the PDF of this lecture, dear friends, check out my Facebook page or my Twitter handle. StudyIQ provides pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams. To find out more, check out studyiq.com. With this, the first item, we will start with some important news item, and then we will head towards our special topic. So the first news item that I have is pertaining to this Prime Minister's visit, or his three-nation visit. Is going to start his journey from Sweden. From there he is going to head towards UK, and it is earlier on the news was out that he is going to visit these two countries, but now it is said that one more country has been added, and it is Germany. So he's going to be there in Germany as well. So let's wait for Germany's visit, but before that we can talk about India and UK. We are going to have this India is going to take part in this CHOGM, that is Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, very important meeting. And now this thing is coming out as well that last time Prime Minister was not able to attend this CHOGM meeting, but this time UK has said that India can play a very important role in unifying all this CHOGM group, and we can expand this group. We can have a sort of you can say regular meetings, as well as we can promote this group for globalization and things like that. So this is a very important call for India. Prime Minister is also going to meet Queen Elizabeth II, and he will also address this unique event called Bharat Ki Baat Sabke Saath. We have a strong diaspora of 1.5 million people living in UK, and it's a very strong community over there. Indian people are very, you can say, highly respected by the people of Britain, and we have this exceptional relationship between the people of England and India. With this, dear friends, we have expressed our strong protest to Pakistan. We have summoned Deputy High Commissioner of Pakistan, and basically we have launched this complaint because the Sikh pilgrims from India to Pakistan, they raised this issue of Khalistan and inflammatory statements and other things, displaying posters and other things at various pilgrim sites were visible in Pakistan, and this is something that is not acceptable to India at all. We have expressed our strong protest, and this sort of steps taken by any country, right, like India has summoned this Deputy High Commissioner. So this is a sort of official, you can say official protest by India, and Pakistan will have to take some action on this thing. It cannot completely ignore, but we know that Pakistan is infamous for all this sort of, I beg your pardon, all this sort of dirty games and things like that. Now, I have a good news for all of us. Good news is that Indian Meteorological Department has just announced in its latest forecast, you can say pre-monsoon forecast, it has said that monsoon this year is going to be normal. Now, if we look at the quantity and how they calculate it, is there any sort of scale or benchmark? Then yes, you have this. It is called long period average. You take 50 years of rainfall, or you calculate, or you go through it, this monsoon season's rainfall in India of last 50 year, and what we get is 89 centimeter, and 89 centimeter is considered as normal. and we are going to get 97% of this 89 centimeter, and plus and minus 5% you can add whatever you get of this 89 centimeters. So this is not bad at all. Now why this is a big thing? Because see, even today 50% plus agriculture land of our country is rain fed. Rural economy is based on good productivity in our agriculture field. So rural economy will boost or will create this demand for the products that are made in factories and other places, generally speaking, in urban setup. So demand for urban goods as well as urban services will go up as soon as we find that productivity has been good. The other thing is this normal monsoon will of course be good for this biodiversity. It is going to be good for water security and other things. It will help us recharge our ground water table and other things. Now imagine this RBI, right? We have this Reserve Bank of India, and they have this Monetary Policy Committee. You have 6 members in this Monetary Policy Committee, and they decide whether interest rate should go up or they should come down. Generally, interest rate, they go up because of inflation. If there is too much inflation, if the value of money is going down, then this interest rate will go up. So in this way, it is a sort of monetary tool used by RBI to control the flow of money in the market. But when we have this normal monsoon, what will happen is, and how they work on, or basically Monetary Policy Committee keeps an eye on this inflation, right? Inflation is checked, and if inflation is going up, then steps will be taken to control it. If inflation is coming down, then as well steps will be taken to control it. So retail inflation is the thing that they keep an eye on, or based on that they decide whether this interest rate should go up or down. Now if we have a bountiful monsoon, then productivity or yield will go up and we will have enough crop. So retail inflation, right, the prices that are going up at present will come down. At present as well, things are not that bad, but prices will come down, so inflation will come down as well. So this sort of things are kept in mind, and once you have a good healthy sign, then RBI will cut down this interest rate, and then loans will become a bit cheaper, and this will boost investment climate. Indo-Nepal, a very brief item. Basically, you know that KP Sharma Oli was here in India, and Nepal has officially declared this thing, that the recent visit of Prime Minister of Nepal to India has been considered or termed as a successful visit. This is something that we want. Neighborhood first is important part of our foreign policy, and if KP Sharma's visit can be termed as successful, then this is a good news for India as well. A small yet very important news: Agriculture Ministry has decided that it will distribute millets like jowar and bajra through PDS. Now millets, they hold great potential as far as this food security is concerned, and on top, as far as this nutritional security is concerned, they play a very important role because they are anti-diabetic. They have micronutrients in it, and millet based food items, they are low in glycemic index as well. The other thing that I would like to add here is that they are sturdy crop, right? So they can withstand droughts. They don't require too much of water compared to wheat and rice and other crops. They are not easily affected by pest. And one more thing and last thing is that even if the soil quality is of not even if your soil is not of good quality, then as well you can go ahead with this jowar and bajra plantation or millet plantation, and you will get a bountiful yield. So these are the beautiful things associated with this millet, and they can help us in food security, economic security, as well as nutritional security. Now coming on to this Prime Minister's visit to UK, we will talk about UK hopefully tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, when we will have some more solid items to analyze. But before that, let's go through this Swedish, or this first leg of our Prime Minister is in Stockholm, that is the capital of Sweden. Now We are going to hold this first ever India Nordic Summit in Stockholm. Nordic countries are very important country. Prime Minister is going to interact with CEOs of this country, of Sweden, and he is one, of course, when he will chat with CEO, CEO, his main purpose will be to attract them towards India, to make sure that they invest in India, they bring their expertise in India. He's also going to address Indian diaspora. And let me take you through the map of Sweden. Here you can see this country is Sweden, very beautiful country. At the same time, it is very developed as well. The capital is here. It is called Stockholm. And you find this Baltic Sea that is sharing border with many important countries in this region. Make sure you spend quality time once you download this lecture. Then you have this Norwegian Sea, North Sea, and important other seas are here. You'll find a small piece of Russian Federation here as well. Now these are your 5 Nordic countries. Let's start with Sweden. You have Sweden, then you have Finland, Norway, Denmark, and the 5th one, last but not the least, is Iceland. So these are together called Nordic countries, remember. Now, both nations, India and Stockholm, if we talk about Stockholm, if we talk about India and Sweden, or New Delhi and Stockholm, then we find that both nations are having warm, friendly ties between each other. We are partners and we are democratic countries as well. At the same time, Sweden can play a very important role in this development story of our country. Now, if we focus on the whole focus on, or you can say the main agenda, main aim, main focus in this meeting is going to be technology, science and tech, trade and investment, innovation, smart city, skill development, clean energy, digitization, health. These are the important things, and clean energy is something that is very important because of climate change and other things. But if we look at this the profile of Sweden, then we find that it's a very strange country. It imports waste from the rest of the world, but it's not strange, it's very interesting that it can convert this waste into energy. If we get this technology and expertise from Sweden, then we can get rid of all this filth that we have in our country. It can help us immensely in Swachh Bharat, Clean India. It can, this waste management, we can produce energy. At the same time, we would be able to curb pollution and diseases and other things. These countries particularly, or if you talk about Sweden, then they can play a very important role in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Make in India, transport solutions, smart cities and other things. Now, if we talk about this Nordic countries or India Nordic Summit, then Prime Minister has already visited other countries like France, Germany. This is after 30 years that Prime Minister is going to be here in Sweden. The other thing is, if you go through all these countries, yes, we have gone through it, but there are some specialities of these countries of Nordic region. The speciality is that if you go through their political system, if you go through their economic system, then you will find that we can import many things from them. When I'm saying import, I'm not talking about products only. I'm talking about their values as well. They rank almost top in every ranking as far as good governance and other good items are concerned. You'll find these Nordic countries are on the top of the table. As far as this democracy is concerned, quality of democracy is concerned, as which is measured by this Freedom House agency, these countries, their rank is between 95 to 100. Many countries out of these countries, they have 100 out of 100 ranking. Then as far as this Transparency International's corruption report is concerned, you find that out of this total 6 least corrupt countries, 4 countries are falling in this region. Fund for Peace, again an organization, says that they belong to this, they are amongst this 8 least fragile states. In World Bank's view, as far as this government's effectiveness is concerned, these countries are top 8 of the world. Here is an interesting thing about Denmark. You have this big piece of land of Denmark here. It is called Greenland. And here you have this country called Iceland. Now the difference here is that Greenland, if you see, then generally it is covered with ice, and Iceland is covered with greenery. So this is a very unique thing about Greenland and Iceland. They have a free market. At the same time, they have very strong social welfare schemes, and they are very strong social welfare state. Their combined gross domestic product is 1.5 trillion, which is larger than Russia. They belong, or they have this big brands and big companies like Lego, Volvo, IKEA, Nokia, other things. Life expectancy is pretty good as well. 80 is not bad. Educationally, they are very advanced. In terms of World Happiness Report, they are again in top 10, particularly this Finland, Norway, Denmark and Iceland. They are in top 4. Sweden ranks at 9th place. So these are the things, but they have some weakness as well. At present, this extreme right wave is going through this Nordic countries, and India's unity in diversity can help in sorting out this weakness of Nordic countries, and this can be converted into strength. So here was a sort of brief overview of the strength of Nordic countries, and this indicates how important they are for us, or how this India-Nordic Summit is important for us. These are your answers. These are your questions. Thank you very much for listening, dear friends. Jai Hind.